Hi everyone, welcome to this video. Today I'll be showing you how I practice 3x3. I will showing you how I do my solves, how I analyze my solves and what I practice algorithm wise and stuff. Alright. What I do first is just do an average of 5 to just look how I'm solving this day. So I just do scramble. Like this. I just do the scramble and I'll just do a solve. Doing white cross, first pair, second pair, third pair, last pair OLL, PLL. So that was a 22-second solve. So I do that 5 times for the average. But that's just how I started off. And now you see my cube on the video, and I will record it even when I'm not doing a video, and then I will watch it back so that I can analyze my solve. But you can use any camera if you just can see your solves how you would see them normally when you're solving, and then you're gonna analyze your weaknesses. If your turning is not smooth, you should practice that. If you're slow turning, then you should practice that. Well, maybe you need to have a lot of time to go from pair 1 to your second pair in F12. Then you need to train look ahead, because you need to look in the second pair to go fast to the other pair. I practice look ahead quite a lot, because going from my first pair to my second pair to my third pair to my fourth pair, it's not going that fast, so I practice that. But just analyze your solves and see what your weaknesses are, and here's how I practice them. So you practice like quite everything the same, and it's just by doing slow solves. And it doesn't mean that you have to turn like so slow that like everyone can follow along, but just at a tempo that you can see what you're doing. I will show an example. So now I'm turning at a speed that I can follow, and then just turning slowly so that I can look at each pair and just go into look at. This is a very useful practice, getting a +2 there. This is a very useful practice to me because I can just do slow solves, see what I'm doing, and just practice it. I'm also not that good at smooth turning. I have a quite inaccurate turning style in my opinion. So how I practice that is also slow solves, because when you're turning slow, you're gonna turn more accurate. And accurate turning is a weakness for me, because when you turn on accurate, you might get lockups. That's why I have a very loose setting, so that I don't lock up that often. But it could be anything that you could practice, and almost everything you can do with slow solves. So when I did the slow solves, I then do another average of 5 to see if I improved. And most of the time you won't improve, just of a few times. So you should improve you should do it a lot of times before you will see something change. But just for example, I did a very long practice session, and you just look if you have improved. Maybe you still want to turn a little bit slower to see if your turn is more smooth, if your look ahead is better, You can just practice anything, and it might help you improve, but like you should do it at least like 20 slow solves to get good at it. Now I'm going to show you how I learn algorithms. Well, there's a few ways I do it, but the most common way I do it is by, let's say example, you want to learn a PLL and you want to learn a vPerm. I'm gonna quickly, wait, is that correct? Gonna quickly set up a vPerm like this. This is a vPerm. When I want to learn the vPerm, I just put it in parts. Well, the first part I do is just how I do part solves is just which part of the algorithm flows together, because now this part flows pretty well, but then you have to do a wide F move which doesn't fit the algorithm, so that's the second part. So I just do each part in a different way, and now I learned the first part like that, then I'll learn the second part. And just learning it in parts helped me very much. But the other way I do it is just train the algorithm a lot of times. So you should train your algs like a lot of times to get good at them. But how I do that, let's say I want to learn a UA perm. Well, the other way I can learn it is by just doing the algorithm entirely. Do it again, just look at the moves on your screen or maybe on paper, and then starting to do it slower so your fingers can memorize the alg. But muscle memory, that's it called, if your fingers just doing the alg, isn't always the best thing, because if you have the muscle memory, sometimes you might forget the alg and then you don't know it. But if you train the alg a lot, also in your brain, you will never forget it and you will always do it. So you could also learn it like this, just doing the alg fast to slower to when it's in your brain, then it's good. But I think the first technique is better. Do your algs in parts and learn it in parts. And when you learn your alg, sometimes it's pretty frustrating because the alg is hard or it's long. You should take some time to learn an algorithm. Sometimes you shouldn't be thinking like, I need to learn this algorithm right now, because it could take some days or even weeks to master one algorithm. It took me like, let's say, to learn almost full PLL. I don't know full PLL, I only don't know the G-perms. It took me like 3 months, I think, so that's quite a lot. So yeah, I'm not that fast at learning algorithms, but it's okay, because after you learn them and if they're good in your head, then you're just gonna cue better. And after you did that, you're just gonna do a scramble again, do an average of 5 again, until you're happy with the result. And if you did all that and you do the average of 5, still not happy with the result, just repeat the process until you're happy with the solving style you're currently doing. Just solve, and then third pair, and then, well, I'm happy with the improvement, let's say. Then you can stop. But let's say I got a bad result or the same. You can do the process again and just do it over and over again until you learned, until you get what you wanted to get. Maybe you're trying to get sub 30, maybe sub 20 or even sub 10. You can use this and just do it a lot of times. I'm also using this method to practice, but I'm like averaging 20 seconds, so I'm not that fast, but hopefully I will get averaging 15 seconds soon. So I hope this video helped you a lot, and see you in the next one.